Here we go. Welcome to the pod. Welcome to the pod. Off to the best start the quad has ever had. This is the quad with Chris Young. As always, I am Chris. We got producer Josh. You want to talk about what just happened?
Chubby fingers is what just happened.
Haley the bear.
Rawr.
Rawr.
Maybe
Ryan,
it's a better way to start the show. I don't know.
It might be. I don't know. Ryan from Miami.
Rawr, rawr, rawr.
It reminds me of in the WWE when Stone Cold, when you hear the glass breaks and then the song
then it starts.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
I loved when Stone Cold Steve Austin would come
All
out.
right. I haven't said this in a long time. If you guys have never listened to the podcast before, if this is your first time, the reason we named it the quad, obviously there's four of us, but we do four topics: music, sports, movies, and a hot take. So buckle in. Here we go.
We got some great sounders.
Who won the poll?
This one was actually weirdly close. The Sopranos won, but it only won by like 30 votes.
I mean,
Against who?
Sorry.
Vampire
Over
Diaries
here.
edged out Dexter by 5 votes.
Ooh.
Wow, really?
This is one of the closest like splits we've ever had.
Because no one wanted Stefan to die.
There was a lot of people that had write-in votes for Game of Thrones
Oh, I heard the ending was horrible with that, yeah.
It was very bad.
and a couple for Lost as well.
Well, I mean, Lost was
It just
terrible.
they just didn't know how to land the plane.
It was just terrible. They did not have
Literally.
an ending. They did not know that movie was going to be that. Movie. That show was going to be that big. I don't think. I think they hoped that it would work. I don't think they realized what they had, and then they were like, "Oh crap, we have no idea how to end this."
Yep.
When it comes to Vampire Diaries, everyone hated that ending. Everyone hated the ending of Sopranos. What was the other one?
Seinfeld.
Seinfeld. Again, like there's so many of those shows. In the case of Seinfeld, how do you end a show about nothing? Like that was the whole principle, right?
I mean, maybe I would have ended it like him doing stand up and they're in the crowd and then he tells a joke and then it's fade to black. I don't know that putting them in jail, spoiler alert, but it's been
Oh my God. Spoiler alert.
20 years.
Yeah, if you haven't already seen the ending of Seinfeld, we're so sorry for ruining that for you.
Welcome to the 21st century,
yeah,
though.
holy crap.
We're lucky to have you here.
We're going to get into the 21st century and what happened right before it later in the movie section. But again, I appreciate that my pick won, but you could easily have picked any of those.
No question.
Yeah.
No
'Cause
doubt.
Again, the Vampire Diaries, they have like a huge following too. That's like one of those Game of Thrones following. Like Vampire Diaries, go hard, and like people are still on the Vampire Diaries train. So sorry if I ruined anyone who's going back and watching.
Again, I think it's been so much time on all of these shows.
None of these are new enough. Like it.
Basically, what we're saying
that's a
is
spoiler alert for you. Go hit the button.
Time for some spoilers.
You should have watched it.
5
That's
years
the
ago.
spoiler.
Yeah.
That's
You
the
should've watched
no.
it. You
You
just watched
should have
it.
watched it. That's
Period.
the spoiler. There it is.
let us take a page from This Is Us or How I Met Your Mother. Like, learn how to end shows.
Man.
You know,
How I Met Your Mother, I actually debated on making mine.
it's a controversial one.
I didn't love it. I get it.
It's How I Met
That's-
Your Mother,
Never
but not.
watched that show.
There's a lot of seasons. By the way, I love that show. If for nothing else than Neil Patrick Harris.
Barney Stinson is a one of one.
I request the highest of fives.
I guess I could say I really liked the Arrow ending.
Which
And
now if we
Gotham.
want to go best ending of a show, maybe that's next week.
Yeah, I want some time to prepare
go
on that.
best
Oh, wait,
ending?
I already know.
No. Don't say. Don't
I
say.
already know.
Don't say. That's what we'll do next week. You got one, Ryan? You haven't said anything yet.
I'm just hanging back here, me and my pineapple. We're on a little nice little day vacation here. It's a Monday. It's
Has
raining
your team
outside here in
sucked during
Florida.
preseason yet? Is that why?
No, my team won during preseason. By the way, I found out that season tickets are sold out for the first time in Miami Dolphins franchise history. We are winning the division this year,
let's
baby.
go to sports. Let's go to sports.
Sports.
Go ahead, Ryan.
You're winning the division
Let's
because
go.
you won a preseason game?
No, just I feel confident. As the days grow, as we get closer and closer to kickoff
I made a mistake.
on September 11th, I get more and more confident that this is the year. This is going to be Tua's year. This is going to be the Dolphins' year. This is going to be Super Bowl or bust, baby.
Every
for
team
your
is Super
Miami
Bowl or
Dolphins.
bust.
Yeah, that's every single team. Wow.
Let's
Just
go.
The hyperbole out of your mouth about this team.
Let's go.
Nothing
To be
has
clear,
happened yet.
Tua didn't even play in that game, right?
No,
He didn't.
No, none of the starters really played.
Hey, by the way, I think the only starter that I know of off the top of my head that played that we know is confirmed a starter, not like, hey, we're trying to figure it out, was one Patrick Mahomes.
He did play.
The Bears
I was-
beat the Chiefs,
I was
by the
really
way.
surprised.
Yeah, the Bears beat the Chiefs.
Okay,
what the
guys.
hell?
All right, hold on.
Wait, time out. And you know what? I'm going to defend Josh by going to a completely different game. The Broncos beat the Cowboys 17-7.
They did.
Neither
Big win.
neither team started any starting offensive players.
Big win. It's momentum, man. You got to build towards momentum.
Neither
for
team
kickoff.
started their offense.
Hey, I'm not saying this is good for the Bears because we still suck.
Might I remind everyone, the Chiefs were up 14-0 at halftime, and also we let one of our safeties kick the PAT. And he made it, by the way, Justin Reed. That's how much we didn't care about that game.
That's awesome.
Oh God.
That's actually really great. We should just have like random dudes come out and kick PATs in the preseason.
What happened was he kicked one on Instagram. He kicked like a 55 or 60 yarder.
No. But by the way, he actually could be
I think he could be
a
good
kicker. So actually, you know what? I want to see? I want to see that guy play like his career to the point that he's like, all right, I'm done, and then transition to kicker
for like 2 more seasons or 3 more seasons. Just get those
and
checks.
just get like the checks. Yes.
We should just do this where like during the preseason, just to make it interesting, guys play out of position where it just, I think it'd be fantastic.
The
Like,
whole,
you just have, like-
there's
That's
only
not the
there's
point.
only 3 games in the preseason anymore, Ryan. Do you
It
remember
doesn't
that?
matter. Out of position.
It
Let's
does
go,
matter
everybody.
because they just cut down to 85 for each roster. After,
You know what? Did you see all the injuries? You see Zach Wilson get injured with the knee. Like we need to these starters should
All right.
not be playing in the preseason.
But okay, you say that, but there's only 3 preseason games. So do you wait till game 3 when they're playing against the guys that are going to be starting, and that's finally when you play them, or do you play them early and then sit them?
I don't know if we have.
I
a
honestly
direct
don't know what the answer is.
because like literally, I mean, thank goodness on the Jets' sake that the Zach Wilson knee injury wasn't that serious. But you're talking about guys who can significantly alter a season based off a couple of plays in the preseason. So I don't know what you do.
Time out. You say it's not that serious.
It's still.
And the Jets are playing it down. He has a torn meniscus.
I
And they
know
say
for a
2
fact
to
how
4
painful
weeks.
that is.
They say 2 to 4 weeks. So
That's
again,
typically not how it works.
Okay,
You get the best medical
say that
personnel on
they're-
the planet.
Yes, he does, but they're probably hitting him with cortisone shots to play game 1.
Just means Mike White Lotus. White Lotus is in. Let's go.
How do you pronounce that QB for you, Josh? Buchel?
Buchel? I don't know. I don't even know. But if you look, Patrick Mahomes is 6 for 7, and then
Wait, you don't know how to pronounce that?
no, I didn't even watch the game.
Buchel. I want to say Buchel. Buchel? I like,
Is this
I like
who I'm
Buchel.
thinking of? Who is it? Is he from Texas?
I don't know. I really our it is Patrick Mahomes. It is Chad Henne, and then I do not care what is happening after that.
Buchel. I love it.
Yeah, Henny got 3 passes in.
Hang on. And I'm so sorry. I'm looking this up on my phone as I'm doing this. So if you're watching on our YouTube, then you know what I'm doing. But for all of the audio listeners, I apologize. I am almost positive that is the former Texas quarterback.
Maybe.
Yes, you're right.
Oh, it's Shane
You are
Michelle.
Bouchel.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Great.
I like. Yeah. Wait, did I say that right? Is that what I said?
Man,
Michelle.
Yeah.
I can't even find him on here. Like, no one cares. They're like, the backup is Chad Henne, and that's it. That's all they have. They don't even have Shane Michelle.
That's how we feel. I didn't even know he was on the team.
All right. Well, there you go. Oh. Well, yep. There it is.
I'm ready for regular season. Let's go.
Look, I am very excited that football is back.
I have some good news for you guys.
Go ahead.
Did you realize we just surpassed the last Saturday of the year without college football, baby? Yes,
Yeah,
let's go.
college football is back too. It's time. I'm ready. It is time. I have missed it so much. And I'll get into this in music, but I have a lot of time to go to games this year. I'm very excited. Very, very excited. Also, Serena Williams is retiring
Yep.
after the Open.
Whenever she wants. Like, she kind of left it open after the Open to whenever she
left
wants
it
to
open.
retire.
I want to know thoughts because to me, I do think she is the GOAT. And yeah, you could go to number of wins, but in the Open era, which is different than what tennis used to be, she was Tiger Woods' level of dominant. Like it wasn't.
Yeah, all
you know,
roads.
more people have wins than Tiger Woods too, at majors. But I've never seen someone be that dominant when they were dominant, and it does look like it's time. She's not what she was.
Tennis is hard on the body.
Yeah,
Let's be
oh
real.
God,
Tennis is hard on the knees.
I don't care if I trained for 1 billion years, I'd never be as good as Serena Williams. That family is so talented, and I can't believe she's played as long as she has.
Just some of the accomplishments that she has. Again, 40 years old, playing in the Open here, which could be her final tournament. 23 Grand Slam titles, an Open era record, as you mentioned.
Again,
One shy.
and you
one
have to
shy
think
of
about it.
more
Everybody
reports
goes,
off the record.
somebody's got more wins. And the reason that I specified that specifically, Ryan, is exactly what you just said. In the Open era, which is different. It's different.
She was ranked number 1 for a record-tying 186 consecutive weeks during her prime, which, by the way, Tiger Woods, when you talk about his world ranking number 1, that we're in the same category and echelon, as you just mentioned, as GOATs of their sport.
over
She also
20
won.
years.
She also won 20 of the 54 possible majors between 2002 and 2015. No one else has won more than 7.
Good God.
She can rightfully retire as the GOAT.
Yeah, no, she
is the GOAT.
should. We should send her off with all of the applause that she deserves.
Mm-hmm.
And I
That
do
is
love that we are seeing
amazing.
some of the best, like Rafa Nadal just did a nice send off to her and a tribute. And I think you'll see the sport as she starts to kind of fade into the distance here, really appreciate her greatness. But I think this is kind of you kind of like Tiger, kind of like Tom Brady, kind of like Jordan, LeBron. We don't really get to relish in the greatness of what we're watching in the moment until kind of they start
Until
to
they're
have
gone.
this retirement tour. Yeah. So
Until you
I just,
have Michael Jordan playing on the Wizards.
ooh.
And you're like, but then you are like, wow, he was still good enough to play at that age.
Well, in like every third
And-
game on the Wizards, he would still drop like 38.
Yeah. I really debated. I was like, do I try to make the argument that she's not the GOAT? She's the GOAT to me.
Do you want to know the greatest accomplishment she has? And for all the amazing accolades that she has put together in her career, she also has an ownership stake in the Miami Dolphins. I'm just saying.
Okay.
Of course she does, Ryan. You somehow still turned Serena Williams into Florida.
You know who else does? Every team that plays the Miami Dolphins.
Except
all
the
know.
Patriots. Except the Patriots, who somehow, being the best team in the NFL for years, could not beat the Miami Dolphins.
Yes, you did nail the dismount there, Josh, but I do appreciate that.
Yeah.
Yep.
All right. Baseball is getting nuts with 50 to go. By the way, I only asked this because I've seen the interviews about Tatis where he got popped for steroids and he's like, I was taking something for ringworm. They're actively, other players are like, that is completely untrue.
By the way, like, come on. At this point, with all of the PEDs and talking baseball, just come out and say you effed up. Like, just own up to it.
I thought they weren't testing for steroids.
They had put out a memo at the beginning of the season that they were going to stop testing,
and then they did,
just to dangle that worm.
Oh, it's funny that you would go with worm, huh?
You like that?
Yeah, I like that a lot.
Do like that. Baseball is going to be fun to watch down the stretch. I mean, you've got
going down 49. The stretch. Even with that, by the way, the Padres are better without him. Their record is
Juan
better.
Soto has been incredible since they acquired him. I mean,
no. Without him, if you look at their record and their run differential, even before that, it like the guy they replaced him with is probably going to take his spot. Like, I know they signed Tatis to this huge deal, but man, like they are better without him. The Dodgers are insane. The only weird fall off is the Yankees because of their bullpen.
Yep. And the
Yankees only needed to go 39-39, by the way, the rest of the way to win 100 games, through July 8th, which is kind of crazy to think of just how good they've been. But this is a team that's struggling post the All-Star break, the Yankees. They don't look like the same team they did prior to.
It's the bullpen.
And you got a big series starting in the Bronx tonight between the Rays and the Yankees, baby.
Weird that you would mention that. It's almost like you are a reporter for the Tampa Bay Rays, Ryan.
Let's go. And a and post-game host as well, which I got to do over the 3-game series.
Considering the Cubs aren't crap, we did win the Field of Dreams game. So
you got something.
We did. Woo.
Didn't they have a hologram of Harry Carey?
Did they?
Oh, that would have been awesome.
No,
that was weird. No, it was okay.
Didn't they? Am I wrong, Ryan?
Yes,
did that
you are
happen?
not wrong. Here's what they did. They had. It was creepy. They did a hologram of Harry Carey, made him look younger, like literally changed the facial structures to make him look young. And well, I know he's dead, but made him look younger. And then he sang "Take Me Out to the Ball." It was weird. It was weird, man.
But Field of Dreams, they were all younger coming out of the cornfield.
But why couldn't we just play a video? Why do we have to have a resurrected hologram? It's creepy.
I mean, well, they have
deep
holograms
fakes. Deep fakes, Rye.
That.
By the way, this I believe this was the last. At least they're not going to do the Field of Dreams game next year, I think is what the MLB confirmed, which I kind of liked it. I wish they'd continue to do it. I actually, apparently next year they're redoing under construction the entire field, remaking everything. And so
they're still going to do the game. They just can't do it next year.
Yeah, it seems like they'll do it in the future, but
I want to see how creative they're going to get every year with the opener.
I was like, oh man, really?
Why are we losing good things? Yeah.
Why don't they do? I mean, you can't do opening day there.
That would be cool. I think that'd be really cool.
No, dude, opening day, especially people that are still baseball fans, and I know we've had this conversation before on this podcast, they want to take their kids to the game. They want to be like, oh no, he's sick today and they're out of school. I know families that have done that before, and that would be really, really tough to do.
So here's where we are. There will be no return trip to Iowa next year. It's only because, again, the place is going to be under construction. But they might not do it in 2024 either, because they're looking to possibly put games at other unique places, like Rickwood Field in Birmingham, Alabama, which was built in 1910, was home of the Black Barons of the Negro
that place
American
is awesome.
League, which would be really cool. They obviously Willie Mays had played there, so they're trying to figure out other ways to use historical venues and turn that into a game. Which I actually like the idea of that. But Field of Dreams is really cool. And
No.
Taps into that nostalgia.
I don't think they need more than two. I actually like the idea of doing that one in Alabama, and then
north-south kind of thing.
you kind of have both. If you split the country in half, like both areas of the country, and
The one
I
in
think that'd be
Birmingham is
cool.
really cool too.
Is it?
It looks just like
Have you been?
I've been. It looks exactly like out of A League of Their Own.
Oh, and that's so close. We could go to that game.
Oh, yeah.
They did that.
Yeah.
So of the teams right now in baseball, just a quick take on from you guys in terms of who do you expect right now to go to the World Series? Dodgers, Mets, Astros, Braves, Yankees are really the top 5 teams in the league. What do we got? World Series prediction at this point with 50 or so games to go. Josh?
Dodgers, Yankees.
Bear?
I'm definitely gonna go with. You know what? I don't.
There you're over your. So basically, when you hear that noise, that is
Phone static.
phone static over a cable that is attached to a microphone. So it's very weird.
Yankees are struggling right now.
They are. Every team goes through this,
I
though.
think I'm actually gonna go with the Mets.
Strong pick.
The
Ooh,
Mets
good pick.
and I hate to say it, the Astros.
Oh, boo! Cheaters!
I don't want to. They are
Cheaters!
cheaters. They are cheaters. They are 100%. But unfortunately, they can cheat their way back.
Love the city of Houston. Hate the Astros.
I hate them with the passion, but I can't. From the looks of it, it looks like they're very possibly getting back.
They're heating up at the right time.
I'm going to give you a team to watch out for. The Mariners, easiest schedule remaining in all of baseball, and they're heating up in the AL wildcard race. By the way, they have gone 21 straight years without making the playoffs.
I couldn't name you a single Seattle Mariner right now.
Julio Rodriguez is one of the best rookies in all of baseball.
So rookie.
Insane.
Yeah. So
Yes.
he didn't play up until this year. And the reason
Correct.
that you know that off the top of your head is because you have to be a reporter.
Because I cover baseball. I'm going to
Yeah.
go with Dodgers.
Hey, guess what, Rye? That's like me naming you someone that you've never heard of in country music.
I like that. Let's do that. We should do that. Let's put together our starting 9 in country music. I like that.
Our
We should do that.
starting 9, the rookies.
I think that'd be fun.
The rookie team.
Our starting 9. I'm going to go Dodgers and Yankees just because I think those two teams are the best teams in all of baseball. I think the Yankees will figure it out. And,
I agree.
Both
I agree with
rotations
Ryan.
are insane.
I agree with Ryan.
There's something historical. I can't remember the stat, but wherever the date was, the Yankees hit 60 wins or something like that was every year that they've gone to the World Series.
Well,
It was some
also,
weird
by the
corollary.
way, remember someone talking about the fact that, I mean, the Yankees, like the Subway Series, could be the World Series,
Yankees, Mets, yeah.
and it was historically the worst rated World Series of all time.
The rest of the United States just like
yeah,
whatever.
everybody was just like, oh, we don't care anymore. Okay.
Funny.
All right, let's go to movies next. I know that's different. Do you know where the button is, Josh? There it is. Movies.
I know where they all are. I just hit both at the same time. They're right next to each other.
So, Trainwreck, Woodstock 99,
Yeah.
which is also not what it's listed under on the internet. I wonder if they changed the name.
They definitely changed it.
I think they changed the name because there's the F word in it. And originally, it's Cluster Blank Woodstock 99.
Oh, that would be so much better.
Oh,
if they
yeah.
did
It's
that.
still well, and it was. So this is 2022 one season. Obviously on Netflix, 94% on Rotten Tomatoes, 95% of Google users like this TV show. While the original 1969 Woodstock Music Festival promises peace, the 1999 revival delivers days of rage, riots, and real harm. Two things. I got bored with this about 2/3 of the way through.
I stopped
What?
watching after episode.
You stopped watching completely.
I
What?
got I watched the first episode and I got halfway through the second episode and I stopped watching because I got bored.
I needed this to be the length of a movie. It needed to be about
You wanted
40 minutes shorter.
You wanted 45 minutes an episode instead of an hour.
I just didn't need.
Some of the random stuff that they were
I mean, they
3
broke
hours.
it up into 3 parts, which was day 1, day 2, day
Right,
3. So
right,
that's kind
right.
of the premise.
I know what they were trying to do, Rye.
And they were building up to obviously what we all knew would happen in the end.
It needed to be shorter, in my opinion. Also, completely unaware that this was the level of craziness that it was. I had no idea that this was Firefest before Firefest. And I don't know, like in my brain, I know a lot about music and touring and the business side and like the history of music. I didn't realize this happened to this level.
It was bad.
Some takeaways, and I saved this just so that I could run through it. By the way, I was interested. I liked it. I didn't love it.
Again, I was interested in what it was, but
You
I didn't
loved
need
it.
the whole like pre-long whatever.
Right.
I just wanted to get to the point where it went to hell.
I loved it. I thought it was paced perfectly.
Ryan?
I really loved it. And I loved the
Okay.
nostalgia that it gave me, not only with the music, but with MTV, baby. I miss
Okay,
old
well,
school
I
MTV.
don't know if you can say nostalgia when we're talking about something that had riots.
99? 99?
Well, this is not the nostalgia they came here for. This was a website that I looked this up on. Oh man, it's not going to show it. But they were basically like, there was debris everywhere. There were riots. State police had to be called to stop the riots. It took 3 weeks to clean it. It was like $78,000 to resod the area where the stages were. There were 5,162 people that had to go to the New York State Health Department. This is not funny. Dehydration, drugs, and trench mouth.
Trench mouth.
Yeah.
What's
Trench mouth is when you drink contaminated water
And then you
that
get
has like
sores.
feces in it.
You get sores in your mouth because of it.
Trench mouth.
God.
What an insult calling someone trench mouth. You trench mouth.
You big old trench mouth, you. That's not funny. I just didn't realize this was that bad, and I don't know why this didn't like register because that's 99. Like,
We're 14 years old.
yeah, I was old enough to know that this was going on. I guess I just didn't.
You're too busy prepping for Y2K.
We were prepping for Y2K. I was learning how to play guitar and sing at the same time on stage. There was other things going on in my life, but
There's lots
Man.
of nudity in this too.
well, yeah, I didn't realize that.
Lots of nudity.
Probably should have put a disclaimer on
We
that one.
probably definitely should have put a disclaimer.
Well,
so sorry for anyone that was offended, but we didn't do it.
I put some of the onus on the festival organizers here because I think what the documentary painted was obviously how unprepared they were, number one. Number two, how it was more about greed than it was about the concert goer experience. And three, how the hell do you not expect things to take that kind of turn when you sign those types of bands to come and play, especially a
They
Korn
were
and Limp
all
Bizkit?
they were all under 30 basically running the entire event. They didn't have
It
the
was-
mindset to think of that.
Wait, time out. That's not true.
That's not true.
Well, they had the
No.
guy that had
No,
organized
it-
69 that was there.
Yeah, they like the original organizers of the 69 event, which that sounds terrible. In a vacuum.
That's kinda what it
of-
turned
of
into.
Woodstock. Well,
69.
because here's the thing: when they did, and this is the big takeaway, and correct me if I'm wrong, since like I said, I got kind of bored with it at the end. With Woodstock, the original Woodstock in '69, that they were trying to mimic this after. They were like, man, it was such a celebration of peace and free love and blah, blah, blah. And it was just like the time and the era that they were in. And they didn't realize that trying to replicate that now does not give you that same attitude. It's not people just being all wavy and having fun. They didn't have enough water.
Clean water.
They didn't have enough food.
Facilities.
They didn't have enough places for people to camp.
Shelter, shade.
They didn't have enough shade. Like that, there's multiple things that people list during that caused people to be sleepless, restless, and then they were like, a lot of this music is completely different. So it's like mosh pits and rage and
trash everywhere. Endless amounts of trash.
Yeah, it's just not the same. You can't go home again. It's one of those kind of things.
Well, and it's hard too because and I had remembered but forgotten but remembered while watching this. There was a Woodstock 94. There's a 25th anniversary that went fine. They didn't make a lot of money, but it went fine.
It wasn't the same level.
The event was just a lot of people, a lot of bands, a lot of 90s rock. Like it was a totally different vibe. The powder keg is that all of the things that you just mentioned, all the facilities, all of just everything sucked and was draining those kids dry of money. And on top of that, the bands that are popular in this moment are Korn, Limp Bizkit, Rage Against the Machine, Red Hot Chili Peppers, etc. And I thought one of the craziest parts, and you couldn't have scripted it any better, and I don't know, Haley, if you saw this because it was on day 3 on the 3rd episode. They pull the Chili Peppers off, and they say, hey, we got to chill out because like this crowd is about to get out of control. They go back out on stage, and rather than slowing down, they play Jimi Hendrix's Fire. And that is the song that is playing when they are lighting the place on fire. And like you would do that in a like recap video to be ironic or like kind of be a dick. And that's something that actually happened in real life. They really played that song. And that's what turned, and they didn't even show. There was day 2, people are flinging mud up on the stage. They didn't really even get into all of that. They showed people throwing bottles and stuff.
Oh, and it's not just mud.
Right. Mud.
Quote unquote.
But they were throwing hay bales of mud
Poop
up
mud.
on stage.
Mud.
Performers were getting covered in mud because people were pelting them with mud-covered rocks and all sorts of stuff. I mean, it was drastically worse. And then before Chili Peppers even got on, Rage Against the Machine played that day, like 2 hours before. So everyone is like, F you, I won't do what you tell me. They're all amped up. And then all of a sudden Chili Peppers go in and it's just chaos. And some of this is just happenstance of the moment. These are the bands that were popular at the time. Their messages in those music. You have Limp Bizkit with Break Stuff. You have Rage Against the Machine with Killing in the Name. Like you have all of these things. That's where music was at. Thankfully, the takeaway from this moving forward, concerts completely changed how they did everything from that point forward. They said, never again are we going to treat people like this.
Time out. That not all of them have done that, but I feel like when they go wrong, that is one of the things that gets referenced.
Mm-hmm.
Also, the control of even the amount of kids that like that. Can we say that Woodstock was like just a variety of just children? Like it looked like there was like 0 adults at all.
Well, of course.
But you don't see
That's
that
what it's
now.
supposed to be, though.
But
oh, you see that at shows.
I mean, you see a
Where
lot
it's
of
like
kids, but
18,
you don't
19,
see
20-year-olds.
Security
Have you been
guards.
to Bonnaroo?
Have you been to Tortuga?
It's, yeah.
But like the control of kids and allowing them to.
But again, that's what he meant by security. Yeah. No.
Can I ask you this though, based off that? Because are we in an era where festivals are more popular than ever before? Because what this kind of made me think of is, okay, they weren't doing that very often back then. Like I don't think there was truly a premise or like a roadmap of how to make a successful festival. We've got a festival every weekend from every genre of music across the country.
The show that I'm going to talk about later in a glowing review, let me say one of the things that I have been to over the years that, like, when you bring up like security, like, depending on the night, they'll tell me if they have a sniper or not.
Yeah.
Yeah, Ryan, that just shocked you, right?
Whoa.
Yeah, just so you know, heads up. Since Route 91, which we were both at, that they will regularly, if there's elevated buildings, have a sniper, and they'll give me a heads up. Hey, if you look up and you see somebody, that is the police sniper.
That's
that is
ours,
here.
not someone else's.
Yeah.
They do that in Nashville too.
They had at this event that I did this weekend, a like local security firm that was on site on top of local festival security, and they wanded everybody that came in.
I mean, I do like that they are taking a more focused approach on security, for sure. At a lot of these events.
I agree. I'm glad. We need this
I'm the
at
one
every
standing
festival.
up there in front of the microphone.
Also, it is crazy the number of errors in Woodstock 99 and like the number of things that escalated throughout that. But I'm glad that I watched this, and I'm with you, Josh. I actually really enjoyed like learning about the festival, learning about the like what led up to it, because my father's always talked about it. I'm like, what is Woodstock 99? And by the way, it also, in a nostalgic sense, made me miss Carson Daly, because Carson Daly was a part of my childhood, like every day.
Dude, one of the first quotes, if you look up Woodstock 99, is Carson Daly going, "I almost died."
Yeah.
Like that's
I think he said he thought he was going to die at it. Yeah.
That's scary, man. That's an easy thing to say, and it's a much tougher thing to deal with. That is terrifying. And by the way, I didn't dislike it because of the way that they framed it or how they paced it. It was that it was too long. It wasn't the pacing. It wasn't like from moment to moment I felt like something got boring in it. I just thought it was too long. They could have made that one thing instead of 3 episodes. I get it. They did day 1, day 2, day 3, whatever. It didn't need to be 3 episodes. It just needed to be one thing. Boom. Be done with it.
I'm curious as to how many of our listeners, if anyone, was actually at Woodstock.
That's interesting. I do wonder if anyone was at Woodstock 99 that's listening to us.
Oh, I don't know if they have cell phone pictures from back then to share with us, but if there are any digital printouts that you can let us know, we'd love to get your experience.
But I mean, if anything, Josh, post something, and I want to see if any of our listeners have
I kind of want to know.
Yep.
Or you know what? If somebody's still around and somehow listening that went to the original Woodstock,
right?
Yeah,
that could be possible.
It could.
So we're gonna figure that out.
Yeah.
All right. What's our movie for next week? This is the point where we all go, and stare at each other.
We should really just make
the
a
vampire
schedule.
one.
What?
The vampire one on Netflix. I want to watch that. Day Shift
Oh.
with Snoop Dogg and
Do we know if this is appropriate? Well, you know what? There were naked people in this one, so I don't know.
Jamie Foxx, Dave Franco, Snoop Dogg. There's some making good. There's some good.
All right, is that what we're doing?
we have to. It's a vampire nerd like movie.
There's really nothing else out.
All right, well, Day Shift it is. Here we go. Thanks, Netflix.
This is definitely rated R.
Yeah.
Lots of
I have
gore.
no idea what's in this movie, so just heads up if you're not
Watch the
down
trailer
with
before
rated
you
Do
R
we
watch
want a
it.
quick
movies.
synopsis? Do we want a quick synopsis?
No, just watch
No.
the trailer before you watch it.
Yeah, and by the way, so I actually something popped up on my feed the other day, I believe on Reels. It was either that or TikTok, where it was talking about the contortionists.
That were in that movie because they're all like bending backwards.
Oh my God, it was crazy. It's crazy. Like they did a lot of practical effects in this show. It's pretty wild.
Okay.
Pretty wild.
I mean,
All
come on,
right.
Snoop Doggy Dogg's in it.
Hang on.
Doggy.
We're we're probably gonna get in trouble for that. Whatever.
Performance
it's-
rights.
It's under 2 hours and it's definitely rated R. But if you like vampires and you don't mind a little gore, go check that out.
It's probably a lot of gore.
It's probably a lot. Music.
Can't wait.
Music.
I had an awesome show, by the way.
It looked awesome.
This show was just, I mean, it was fantastic. The crowd, everybody, thank you, Pennsylvania. I love you. Holy crap. Holy crap. That's all I know what to say. It was a special one, man. I mean, like, we did random stuff that I never do. Some guy threw his hat up on stage and said, let's trade. And I was like, okay. And so I had a like bright hunter orange Bass Pro hat and I signed it and threw it to this guy in the crowd. I've got video of it that I'll send you and we can post.
Throw it up, yeah.
But I threw in my hat and I wore his hat for the rest of the show. It was just a special one, man. I don't know why. It was just really, really cool.
I have a question for you. You posted a clip of doing the guitar toss,
Yeah.
which is always a really cool thing to watch. It's
Yeah.
just
Does it
what
not scare
what a
you?
flex. My question is, has that ever gone poorly and he
All
dropped
right.
it?
So I have actually, that is my first, I am 37 years old. That is the first time I've ever thrown my guitar to my guitar tech. Ever. First time ever was this weekend.
Did he have a
And
comment afterward?
No, because he had actually, for the past couple weeks, he goes, man, I looked at you and I thought you were just going to throw it to me. And I was like, I will if you think you can catch it. And he goes, I'll catch it. I'm like, all right, bud. Here we
TBD,
go.
we'll
yeah.
see. We'll see.
Yeah, we're going to find out. I was like, if you feel like you can't catch it, just drop it. We'll replace it.
Yeah.
I almost cussed.
I don't give a darn.
Yeah, I don't give a darn. But I threw it, and Ty Fury, yes, that is his name.
He's
Ty Fury.
That's like it's like a henchman from like an
don't
Austin
afraid-
Powers movie.
Yes, exactly. We were like, you're going to be a wrestler duo with somebody at some point. But yeah, we did that, and it was absolutely amazing. I loved every minute of it. It was a perfect show. Yeah.
So looking forward, you've got Europe coming up.
Yes, I have a 4-show weekend this weekend. So really, basically the week. And then next week I leave and I'm in Europe. So I'll be doing the podcast remote from Europe with you guys at some weird hour, I'm sure.
2 a.m.
Yeah, we'll figure it out. I'm gonna take a stand and a ring light if I can. But I'll be over there for a couple weeks, and then I've got a couple more shows before the end of the year, but then it's pretty much just time to sit in the studio, finish the next album, which I am going to work on when I leave here today. I'm actually going to.
If we get 3 billion streams,
Of Tonight We're Dancing, then
Josh,
just that song, just that
one,
song,
just that one.
just
You have
that
to go.
song.
Everyone, go listen to. You know what? For today on What Are You Listening To for me? Let's just move on straight to that. I'm not. I will deal with the other thing I was going to say right before we get done. For this week, Tonight We're Dancing.
What an incredible song!
Oh my God!
A favorite on your
You know
record.
what you should listen to?
What?
Tonight We're Dancing.
I think
yeah. What are you listening
I might-
to? We're
you know
going
what?
to do it twice.
my pick this week is Tonight,
Tonight
We're
We're
Dancing by
Dancing.
Chris
There it
Young
is.
from the deluxe version
Yes.
of the CD.
Ryan, what's your pick
You
for
look
this
great
week?
in red.
I mean, I had a different song, but I guess don't worry. I'll go in with Tonight We're Dancing.
Yeah, you are.
Yeah, you
All right.
are.
All right.
I'm going with Post Malone.
Wow, that's hateful.
She's muted.
It's just so mean. Haley goes with Tonight We're Dancing.
She's
yeah.
also-
Oh my
yeah.
God. That's
3
so
billion.
crazy. I can't believe that all 4 of us love that song.
You know, it
That's
means so much
crazy.
to both of us
Wow.
that you guys would all
Wow.
choose this. This is amazing. Thank you
beautiful.
so much.
it's beautiful. I love it.
I can't with y'all. Am I I still muted? No, I'm not.
No, you're unmuted.
Rude.
Oh man! All right. The other thing that I wanted to talk about is, and I don't even know if I should say it out loud.
Do it.
How very Emperor Palpatine of you. Do it. Do it. Let it flow through you.
Do it. Yes.
Okay. So at the end of a bar is top 5.
Right. I thought we
Obviously.
did that.
We did.
I know.
don't
I
if
get
should
it.
say
I know.
I don't know if I should
get
say
it.
it. In real time, you won't know until the end of the week, because until the end of the week it doesn't matter. But it is sitting at number 1 right now.
Is it?
Don't talk about the no hitter. Don't talk about
Did you just get this when we in the middle of the
I
pod?
just got a text just right now.
Just
Number one. Number one.
Ryan, mute him.
I got it.
He
I got
muted
it.
you. He
I got
muted
it.
you.
I
He
got
muted
it.
you. Thank you.
got it.
All right. Anyway, very excited, and hopefully it'll get there this week, next week,
Which-
at some point, whatever.
Which
5
it
weeks
seems
in a
as though
row.
it might be a week early, which is what happened on the last one as well.
We'll
So-
see.
so
We'll see. Who knows?
3
If-
billion
you know what?
streams.
If it only gets to number 2 or number 3, whatever, it's still top 5. It's a hit, and I love you guys for it. So thank you.
Don't do it, Ryan.
Don't do it, Ryan. Don't say anything. All right, go to the hot take.
Hot take!
All right. So, speaking of music, 2006. It's a long time ago, right?
Yeah. That is.
It's a very,
I was 21 years old.
I mean, it's a long time ago.
17 years ago? 2022.
16, almost 17
Okay,
years
so
ago.
I was close. Okay.
I love when we do math live on the podcast.
Yeah.
That's my favorite thing.
Hey, I was very, very close.
I actually literally just opened my calculator to make sure I was
We write
correct.
songs, bro. Don't worry about that.
Yeah, buddy. I can only count to 8. That's why I have accountants that are really good. In 06, I win Nashville Star. I sign with RCA. And I go play my first late night TV show.
What song did you play?
Well, I believe it was my first single. It would have been Shrinking Me Lonely. But so I go play my first late night TV show. Years later, I get a phone call from a guy I've never met to go play a private gig. And this is a flex.
Give it to us.
It's not really a flex anymore, but he's like, I'm going to pay you. And he told me what the number was. And I was like, I think you have too many zeros in there. And he goes, no, I don't. I'm like, okay. And he goes, and I'm going to fly you up to, I believe it was Wyoming. He goes, I'm going to fly you to this location on a jet. I've never been on a jet in my life at that point. I was like, what? Like Southwest? And he's like, no. It's private jet. I'm like, what? They have those? I was so shocked. And he goes, you're going to play my wife's birthday. And he goes, Garth couldn't do it. And I'm like, you went from Garth Brooks to me? What the hell? And he goes, I'm calling because you were the second in line on the list of the people that she likes in country music, and Jay Leno recommended you. So I ended up doing this show. It was awesome. Keep in touch with us.
That was a slight flex there of the Jay
Yeah.
Leno recommends you. Yeah,
Well,
that
that
just
gets
swept
me.
that under the
That
rug.
gets me to our hot take. There is no way in hell, no matter what I've done or what shows I've played, that I could ever not say my best late night host ever is not Jay Leno.
Real quick before we argue this.
I have to. I'm sorry.
Real quick. So what was that like? So they flew you to New York. No, he was in L.A., right? Where was Leno?
No, okay, wait. Maybe I've now confused everyone.
You played Leno.
I played Leno.
You played Leno. That was your first one.
Yeah.
And Leno was in...
Leno recommended me to go play a private gig.
I know. But where was Leno? Was that New York or Los Angeles? I don't know.
It was L.A.
It was L.A. Yeah, he's L.A.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Walk us through that. Because, like, the feeling of getting on the lot, going to the stage, like, what is that like? Because I've never done a late night show. Most of our listeners probably have never done a late night show. If you have,
probably never do a late night show.
Probably never do a late night show.
Although we are accepting invites to do late night shows.
If you would like us to come on your late night show.
Okay.
Could be in my future. You never know. So
It's true.
I love that Ryan just assumed it'd just be him by himself.
Yeah, that's cool, man.
So, late,
How late?
Nice.
Very late.
The
late show with Bass.
All right. I will also say this. Jay Leno was like the most welcoming, like came to the room, said hello.
Like he knows how you respond to him. He knows
made a
that.
point
Yeah.
to like go out of his way to say hi before the show went off. It's so weird, man, because it's like you go to the lot and this works not just for like late night. This works for daytime TV, morning TV, and I only obviously morning is daytime, but I'm speaking specifically to like midday shows or morning shows. It's so weird because you're just like they go to that every day and it's completely normal for them. It's not for anybody else joining. And so you could have like at one of the shows I did, Samuel L. Jackson was there in the other room.
Yeah, it's like, oh.
Yeah, I was like, oh, well, there's Samuel L. Jackson. Hell. One of the shows I did, and I believe, actually, you know what? The second time I was on Leno, I believe it was me, Leno, Brooklyn Decker, and Kevin Hart.
All right. What a lineup.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I'm obviously like the least important person there at that point, but at the time, it was like the beginning of Kevin Hart's career.
Yeah.
It's just wild to think that there's photos out there. Sandra Bullock was on one of them.
That's awesome.
Michael Caine.
Michael Caine.
Yeah. Michael Caine.
Michael Caine.
All right.
So
That's
for
the
you.
debate.
So
for
yeah,
you.
Jay
So for
Leno.
you.
Jay Leno wins. There we go.
Well, I am sad to admit that I have never watched many late night talk shows except for Jimmy Fallon. And also, he has an awesome ride at a
Jimmy
theme
Fallon's
park.
great.
He has an awesome ride at a theme park. I always thought he was super cute too. And I've
Whoa. Huh.
That's her
literally-
reasoning.
Huh.
He came when I was working at Universal. He came to Universal to do one of his shows, and I think it was also in association with his ride opening. He has a ride. He is a late night talk show host with a ride.
So what you're telling me is you would like to go on Jimmy Fallon's
You'd like to ride Jimmy Fallon's ride.
ride.
I mean,
Okay, Jimmy Fallon. Continue.
Yikes.
he's also
Hey,
hilarious.
Ryan,
Come on, he has
who's,
great skits.
who's yours? Who's yours?
I'm a little flabbergasted by riding Jimmy Fallon.
This is ride.
This is ride.
Ride. He's ride. That's
Ride.
right. Well, it would be in my best interest to go with the GOAT of late night TV, which is David Letterman. I am not going to do that. In fact, my favorite late night TV show host kind of was a trailblazer in his own right, and it is Jon Stewart. Because Jon Stewart was really the first to take political satire and introduce it into late night TV, which I thought he did with brilliance. So, for the record,
Well, hey, wait,
Daily
time
Show
out.
with Jon Stewart. was my
Technically, he
favorite.
was the Daily Show.
Time out. Yeah.
Not the late night show.
Yeah. Also,
But it was on late night, is what it is. The
well,
Daily Show was
no.
on late night.
hang on. That wasn't my critique of what you just said. But if you think he was the first person to use and exacerbate the use of political satire, you're wrong. On late night TV,
It wasn't really being done
He
to the
centered
level that
around
he
it.
was.
He
Correct.
centered around it. He made that
Correct.
kind of his
'Cause
calling
for
card.
years, Bill Maher had been doing it on HBO.
Yeah.
Bill Maher had done it correct, but I'm saying in terms of like truly like focusing your show around it,
Yeah.
I thought he was excellent at that. So Jon Stewart, I would
All
put
right.
up there as my
I like
my
it.
favorite late night TV shows.
Dang it.
Was that
Dang
going to
it.
be yours?
No, because I hate that I'm not picking Letterman either. I hate that.
Oh no!
Because
we
Letterman,
hate David Letterman. What the hell?
and I love David Letterman. And the older I get, I go back and watch David Letterman. I'm like, dang, he was way funnier
Oh
than I
my
even
God! No one picked David Letterman.
realized. But my choice is not David Letterman
What is it?
because this man is responsible for so much of my biggest laughs in my life.
Craig Ferguson.
No,
Johnny
James
Carson.
Corden. No, Conan O'Brien.
Oh, that's a good one.
With the Marley and Me sketch, with the year 2000, like all of these things that are so integral to what I consider funny
Wow.
humor. But that hurts my feelings
We
because
no one
Letterman,
picked Letterman.
because Letterman just got dumped on by everyone.
If it makes you feel better, I have a list, and David Letterman.
Oh my God! Haley's list.
I'm
Go.
coming in hot with the list.
It's like
I think,
Craig's
Ryan.
list, but it's Haley's list.
How did you
Angie's
supplant
list.
me in bringing in lists?
She
Not
stole it.
okay
She
or
stole it.
acceptable.
All
Go
right,
top
are
five.
we ready? So according to MovieWeb.com, they have a top 9. So I'll go ahead and go through the top
Okay,
9.
go.
Number 9
Our
is
friends at MovieWeb get it right.
Ryan's so mad
So
right now.
salty.
at number 9. We got Jimmy Kimmel. At number 8, we got Stephen Colbert. Number 7, I might pronounce this wrong. Arsenio Hall.
Arsenio
Oh
Hall.
my God! You don't know who Arsenio Hall
You feel
is?
old? Do you
No,
feel
you're-
old?
I
with me
feel
now?
so old.
Yeah, bro.
Oh my God!
At number 6, we got Jimmy Fallon. At number 5, we have David Letterman.
Ooh.
At number 4, Jon Stewart. At number 3, Trevor Noah. I don't know who that
Ooh,
is.
Trevor Noah. that's-
Trevor Noah is so
funny.
good.
He's
And
really
number
he's
2.
He's Jon Stewart's successor.
Yeah.
Number 2 is Conan O'Brien. Can anyone guess who number 1 is?
Nope.
The chin.
Here
Comes Johnny Carson.
Johnny
Carson.
Carson. Yeah,
Yeah.
throwback.
Which, by the way,
I mean,
a
like,
decent
let's,
list.
literally
let's
the
be honest.
Godfather.
Let's
the
be
Godfather
honest.
of late night.
I knew no one was going to go Johnny Carson. So anyone that's listening to this that actually remembers that Johnny Carson was the godfather of late night television. We mean no disrespect to Johnny Carson. This
Aired
is just
for
our list.
30 years,
I will-
62 to 92.
I will also say who is Jimmy Fallon's band? Do you know?
The Roots.
I performed with Vince Gill and The Roots as our backup band playing Sober Saturday Night.
When? Where? Is there footage?
Oh, there's footage.
Oh, I have to
You
find
can
this
find
immediately.
it. You can find it.
Shout out to Philadelphia's own The Roots, and to Black Thought, who is, in my opinion, the greatest rapper alive right now.
Also, Jimmy Kimmel. There is and I can't remember what is Cowboys and Aliens was coming out. So Olivia Wilde was on the show with me, and we were filming. And Steve, my bass player, wore a shirt that said, "Missy, will you marry me?" And that's how he asked her to marry him.
Oh, that's awesome. That's awesome.
That's awesome. That really is awesome. Yeah, so Jimmy Fallon is the best late night host for this hot take. Thanks, guys.
No, it's not.
Because he has a
Thank
great
you
ride.
guys so much for listening to The Quad with Chris Young. As always, I'm Chris from Ryan, Haley, and Josh. We would just all like you to know that you should absolutely vote for Jay Leno.
He wasn't even on the list.